All right, FSL teachers, let's talk. You know that feeling, right? Your students can read French, they can write it, but getting them to actually speak with confidence, that can feel like the final boss battle. Well, today, we are cracking the code with 3 super practical, research-backed strategies to get your classroom buzzing with French. Let's get into it.
So, does this hit close to home? Your students get what you're saying, they can totally follow your instructions in French, but the second you ask them a question, poof, a wall of silence. Listen, you are so not alone in this. That hesitation is one of the biggest hurdles we face. But the really good news is we can absolutely get past it.
Okay, our first strategy is all about making speaking a daily habit, something that's totally low stakes. We're going to build that confidence muscle through sheer consistency, using structured oral routines. Think of it like a daily warm-up, but for their mouths.
And you won't believe how simple this can be. Just start every single class with a quick 2-minute chat in pairs. That's it. Bonjour, comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci. The key here is to keep it simple and repeatable at first. Then, over a few weeks, you start to slowly layer in new words or tougher sentences. This tiny, consistent bit of practice builds a huge foundation of confidence.
Now, this isn't just some random classroom trick. There is some serious science behind this. It's actually rooted in something called the Neurolinguistic Approach, developed by Germain and Netton. Their work shows that when we help students automate these simple little oral phrases, we're literally rewiring their brains for fluency. It frees up their mental energy so they can start speaking more spontaneously. How cool is that?
So once you've built that solid foundation with daily routines, what's next? Well, we give them a real reason to speak. And that brings us right to strategy number 2, creating tasks where French isn't just something to study, it's the tool they actually need to finish a mission.
And you can see, this is a huge shift in thinking. We're moving away from that old school drill, repeat after me, and moving toward a genuinely interactive task. Like, imagine an information gap activity. One student has a map, the other needs directions to find the treasure. They have to talk to each other to solve the puzzle. All of a sudden, communication isn't just practice, it's the whole point of the game.
This whole idea really gets to the core of modern language teaching, and it's backed by the big guns, the Common European Framework of Reference, the CEFR. They see learners as social actors. It just means we learn best when we're doing stuff with the language, solving problems like we would out in the real world. It makes the learning so much more meaningful, and it actually sticks.
Okay, finally, let's talk about the giant elephant in the classroom, the absolute fear of making a mistake. Our third strategy is all about us, the teachers, and how we give feedback. The goal here is to create an environment of growth where it's safe to take risks, not a place where they're scared of being wrong.
Just think about it. When a student says something like j'ai allé, and we jump in with no, it's je suis allé, what happens? The conversation just stops cold. It can be so discouraging. But check out this other technique called recasting. The student makes the same error, but this time you just gently restate it correctly in your reply. Ah, tu es allé au parc? And then you ask a follow-up question. The mistake gets fixed, but the conversation keeps flowing. You're choosing connection over correction.
And this is all built on Meryl Swain's amazing output hypothesis. Her research showed that this is exactly how we learn. We make progress by trying to say something, even if it's not perfect, and then getting that gentle, adjusted feedback. That's what helps our brains notice the gap between what we said and the right way to say it. And that little moment of awareness, that's where the real learning happens.
And you know what's so great? This isn't just some fringe theory. These are the exact kinds of strategies that are championed by the leading professional groups right here in Canada, like CASLT, the Canadian Association of Second Language Teachers, and ACPI for all the immersion pros out there. They are all about these communicative, task-based approaches.
So let's wrap this up with your 3 big takeaways. Number 1, build that foundation of confidence with short daily oral routines. Number 2, give your students a real purpose to speak with interactive, goal-oriented tasks. And number 3, keep them talking by fostering growth over fear with your positive, encouraging feedback. When you put these together, it can be a total game changer. Now, once your students are all chatting away, the next big question pops up, right? How in the world do you assess all of this speaking in a way that's actually meaningful and doesn't bear you in paperwork? Well, that is exactly what we are going to tackle in our very next explainer.
Hey, if you found these strategies helpful, do me a quick favor.
Hit that like button, maybe share this with an FSL colleague you know would appreciate it, and of course, subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive on assessment. Thanks so much for watching.